Please welcome Sam Morril.
What's going on? Welcome.
Sam Morril.
How are you, man?
Welcome to the Daily Show.
Thanks for. This is awesome.
Are you kidding me? This is one of my favorite moments because I mean I met you maybe it's like 8 years ago when I first came to New York to do comedy. Nobody knew me. No one. Do you know what I mean? It was like whatever. Even longer actually, maybe 10 years ago. And I met you in the Comedy Cellar. And you know, in comedy circles, there's always comedians where they'll say like, "That's a comic's comic." Where every comedian stays to watch that comic, every comedian wants to see what they're going to say, and you were that guy, you are still that guy, and I'm so excited to see all the success that's coming your way, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. I feel this is such a legit show. I mean, you usually have someone arguing before the Human Rights Council, and now you have me, a guy who was arguing at the front desk of my hotel to return my muscle relaxers that they took. So
I think it's perfectly fitting.
Yeah,
man. I mean, like you saw in the clip, you talk about everything. You know, for those who don't know Sam, you're gonna know him. But let's start with this part of the story, which I really love. You know, for a long time, comedy has been the funniest sort of makes it up. The funniest makes it up. Then social media came in, things started changing.
Yeah.
And then it was almost like inside out. People were like, who's famous will make them a comedian. And a lot of comedians were like, it doesn't seem to be working as well. You couldn't get anybody to look at you. You couldn't get anybody to take your special. You couldn't get anybody to put you on TV. You put it out yourself.
Right.
You got like 11 million views, one of the most watched specials on YouTube ever.
Yeah.
And then Netflix was like, all right, Sam, we need to do a deal.
Yeah, Netflix, I think their stock was sinking, and and I feel like I got in the lifeboat right as the Titanic started going down. I was like, I'm in, dude. Let's do it.
You.
No, I'm honored. It's awesome. It's crazy. Yeah, you put it on YouTube. You don't think anyone's gonna watch it. I mean, I remember shopping it for HBO and for Netflix a couple years ago, and they were like passed, and I was like, well, I'm gonna make it. So. I'm going to make my own special, put it out, comics share it, comics support comics.
Right,
so yeah, I got very lucky in that way, you know.
I don't think you got, I think the audience has got lucky because your special, no, I honestly mean this because
Thanks,
like
man.
Your special, everyone has commented on it in different ways. It's like, I think it's part of the reason so many comics have always loved you. You never know what Sam is going to say and how he's going to say it. Like, you know, people are like, oh, he does jokes about the transgender community, and you don't know which way it's going to go.
Right.
And I saw your name trending online, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, me too. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. And it was the trans community going, we love this comedian and his jokes about trans people.
Oh, that terrified me.
Why?
Because they love me today. I'm like, and they're like, he's our guy. I'm like, don't make me your guy. You love me today, you're gonna hate me tomorrow. I don't know. Because it's like what you say, you just kind of follow the joke. I don't want to hurt anyone in any joke, but when you write a joke, you're just going for the laugh. So with that joke, for me, it was like, you know, a guy said something about trans. He goes, it was about a friend who said, you know, I fully support trans people. I mean, I'll play along. I was like, I don't think that's what they're going for. I don't think you're scoring a lot of points walking up to a trans person like, sure. If you say so. See how uncomfortable this whole crowd was about me even going into that? They were like, where the is he going with this joke? And then it was okay, right?
You see, this is what I love. This is what you've got this cadence, you've got this vibe, you've got this. You also have a joy about you. Like I remember like tweeting. There were some shows of yours that were coming up, and I was like, "Yo, guys, you got to go watch Sam Morril. You got to go watch Sam." And people were like, first of all, half of South Africa is like, "Where is this?" Like, sir, it's in New York. I should have told you guys it's in New York. But what I loved was the response I got from people afterwards. It's exactly what you said. You on stage. It never feels like you're like trying to like hurt anybody. It's never felt like that, but you're funny, you're still edgy. I think you do what comedy needs. Like you keep people on their toes, you know, and it's not like you're safe for the sake of being safe. It seems like you're having fun.
I love stand-up. I mean, that's the thing is like you know, some of these cities, you're like, I mean, I'm on the road every week. I love what I do. So that's the thing is like, yeah, you never go up there with the intent to hurt anybody. Sometimes people get hurt. But that could happen. I have a friend, Ryan Hamilton, who's got a joke about hot air balloons, and someone was like, that's offensive. I was like, well, that's on you, I think. I mean, you're upset by hot air balloons? Anything can offend someone, and that's on them. I mean, sometimes they try to say, like, well, you shouldn't joke about that. I was like, you were fine with me for the first 47 minutes.
That's the thing I've noticed.
Yeah.
Right? That's the thing I always say to people is I go, a lot of people don't realize that every joke is funny until you find it personal.
Yeah.
Like everybody laughs. Everyone laughs, and then they'll be like, nah, that you went too far. It's like, what about the
Yeah.
other jokes? They're like, well, those were cool because they weren't about me or anything that I necessarily cared about. But then up until that point, people are generally fine.
Yeah, I think most people are smart enough to tell the difference between, you know, good intent and intent
Yes.
we've all gotten mad at a person, and that's not funny. You lose when you become too emotionally attached to something. You're not funny anymore. You need the detachment.
You need the comedy, I think.
Well, but I think the comedy is connected to the detachment.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think?
I remember when my grandmother passed away, we were in this weird space where like I was crying the whole week. Everyone is like discussing the family. What are we gonna do? What are we not gonna do? And there would always be these moments where like a joke comes up. You know what I'm talking about as a comedian. You see the joke, and then you look at the people around you. And you go like, I can't, but because it's family, I could say it.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it. That's part of, you know, why do you think it is that you've really been able to keep the context of your comedy? A lot of comedy, I think, has been hurt by the lack of context. When we're in a room, everyone here gets it. We know that we're making jokes about certain things. We know that we don't really feel certain ways. It's a joke.
Yeah.
With social media, it became someone who wasn't at the show, who didn't get the context, who didn't know the beginning of the story. They get angry, and this didn't happen to you. It just happens in comedy. But for some reason, I don't know, you've managed to preserve that context. Do you know why or how?
I think placement and the set order is important, but I mean, you nailed it. Social media, it's like a comedy club where people are just opening the door and they come in at the wrong time. They just open the door and they're like, what was that? They're like, that's not when you were supposed to enter. So it makes me mad. Look, here's the thing. That's the beauty of social media. You reach so many people.
Yeah.
And so many of those people are like, oh, I like this guy now. But so many of those people are like, I hate you. And you just kind of have to accept that it's a package deal.
It's a package deal.
But
I think you're getting one huge part of the package, which is people loving you. Your Netflix special is just like received to acclaim. Obviously on YouTube, you're crushing it. You're doing so well right now that you have a whiskey. Is this a real thing? I heard a rumor that you have a whiskey.
Yeah, I have a whiskey.
Just explain this to me. How do you...
Bodega Cat Whiskey at bodegacatwhiskey.com.
But explain this to me. What do you mean you, like, because when they said Sam has a whiskey, I was like, I thought you just have a whiskey with you.
Yeah. Well, I had that too. Yeah, but that's, no. Yeah, I think, look, I'll be honest. I got into comedy. I didn't get into it because I was like a go-getter. You know, my brother and sister are lawyers, are very smart. I was the black sheep. You know, I was like, oh, open bar? I'm in. That's all I needed. And then I was like, oh, I can make my own whiskey. People will make, so we got a whiskey cooking. This guy, Chris Hart, helped Mark Norman, my friend and I, we made a whiskey, and you can get it now, so. Bodega Cat Whiskey.
All I say is congratulations. You're one of the nicest, funniest comedians I've ever met.
You too,
I wish you all
man.
the best.
Thank you, brother.
Ups and the downs, angry